I'm Helen Dickinson, I'm the Chief Executive of the BRC, and we are talking to retail leaders about why the new government should buy into retail. Today I'm here with Nick. Tell us who you are and how you got into retail.
So I'm Nick Stowe, I'm the CEO of Adina Brands. You probably wouldn't recognise Adina, but you would recognise Accessorize, Monsoon and East, three wonderful high street brands that we own. I got into retail when my first job was probably like many people in retail. It was a 7-Eleven job when I was a kid. But I really got hooked when I went over to the US and I worked at Nike and came into retail from the product and brand side and worked at Converse after Nike acquired Converse, and that was my really in-depth experience of retail. I went over and set up the business in China and we opened about 2 stores a day for a while, which was crazy, but was an amazing experience, and I was hooked after that.
And what do you think then is the best thing about the industry in your view?
Well, we're a fashion retailer, so it's really creative, and that's a lovely thing. You can get very, very immediate feedback. As a brand, you set up the store, you know if it's working, you also know if it's not working. So it's very, very immediate feedback, and that can be great. It can be great for the teams, they really enjoy it if it works. It's great for consumers, you learn something new. We just set up a new store up in Harrogate for Accessorize. We took a bit of a punt, we set up a bigger store, but it worked, and it was very, very immediate. The team loved it, and it feels like we contributed a little something to the town centre up in Harrogate, which was great for the team, great for us.
And more widely, how does your business contribute to what we've called really the everywhere economy?
So we are pretty much everywhere in the UK. We have about 150 stores. We're in pretty much every major city, most large towns. So we have that presence as well as our digital business, which is about half the business. So we contribute very directly in terms of sales. Those sales turn back into wonderful taxes through rates for local authorities and contribution back to the government. But we also employ about 2,000 people in the UK. It's a really diverse mix of people in our retail stores, our distribution centre, our head office. And for many people that's a first job, it's an entry into the workplace. We take that really seriously. And it's a great apprenticeship up into a career. We've got lots of people who've been with us for decades. And so we provide that career, we provide a great living wage, we provide a lot of flexibility around raising or caring for a family. And so that makes a great contribution, I think, to a pretty broad swath of folks in the UK.
And so why do you think, from a government point of view, they should buy into retail?
So the government's made a big deal about growth, and I think that's absolutely right. The UK is a consumer economy. Consumer spending accounts for about 60% of GDP. You can't grow the economy if you don't grow consumer spending. You can't grow consumer spending unless you get retail working. So we need to grow our sales. The government plays a really big part in terms of whether we can do that or not. In our business, we've upped the ante for our Accessorize plan this year. We're planning to open about 20 stores, which is more than we thought. We're optimistic about the UK. But that's a lot of capital invested in those stores. So we need the right policies, we need the right tax regime to make sure that we can get a return on that capital and make sure the stores are profitable. So we're ready to do it. We want to partner with the government in doing that, but they need to play their part and get the regime right for us to have the confidence to invest.